Good morning, y'all. Good morning, and welcome back to Elisha's Crafty Hoplop. If you're new here, we hope you feel super comfortable. And to my returning folks, welcome back, y'all. Welcome back. We have a few people this week we want to be keeping in mind, and I'm going to ask you to either send out well wishes, or if you're the type that prays, then we would appreciate prayers. Belinda Barton is going in for surgery this week, and she's going in on Thursday. And she's going in alone because of the virus. And we know, because we recently went through this with Michelle Bastian, how stressful this is, right? And my own husband today is getting news of whether or not he needs surgery. And he's going to have to go that alone. It seems that unfortunately, because of the crisis and the health risks to everybody, people are having to face things that they normally go through with the support of friends and family and community. They're having to brave it alone. And Belinda shared with me, this is the first time she's ever had to go it completely alone. So I told her, you're not alone. Nope, you've got us here. And I suggested that she do the same thing that Michelle Bastian did. I asked her to take the cell phone with her to the hospital. I know it contaminates it, but you can disinfect it after. You can. To take the phone with her and to ask the nurse to help her log on so that she can watch and see that we support her via video. So let's start that before she goes to the hospital by today sending well wishes and prayers for, first of all, that she finds comfort in the next couple of days, because it's probably nerve-wracking. In fact, we all know it is before you go in for any surgery. It's scary, and certainly when it's your first alone, right? So we want to send up some support and some wishes for her, and that we hope that this surgery is easy and very successful, and that we will be making a video on Thursday and on Friday so that you know that you're supported and you're not by yourself, and the nurses can log on for you so you can see it. And that way you won't feel so alone. And I appreciate it, y'all. I really do. And I'm going to ask that you also send up some well wishes and some prayers for Misty C. She's been having a rough year. And, those of us that know her, I don't know her as well as a lot of my friends do. But I can tell you, everything I do know about her is just wonderful. She's very good friends with Dina and Carrie. Dina's This Mama Loves Disney, for those of you who are newer to YouTube. And Carrie is Carrie Martin's Craft Emporium. And she's also friends with P. She's also friends with Whimsical Endeavors. Who, by the way, had an awfully painful day yesterday. So we'll be coming to her next. But for Miss Misty, she's just had a rough year. And there's not much that we can do to alleviate her load. She has a family member currently very sick with the COVID virus. So I'm going to ask y'all, those of you who pray, 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 pray. And those of us who well wish, we need to make as many well wishes as we can for Misty and her family, because they need them. They really need them. I also want you to send out some well wishes for Donna Wilbur. She made a video yesterday. We haven't heard from her in a while, and she talks very openly about living with mental health issues, and I really applaud that. I think that takes courage, and the more we talk about it, the more we erase stigma, and I'm a big fan of that, as you all know. So I thought that was great. It was a great video she shared, but it hasn't been an easy time for her either. And so I'm going to ask that you send well wishes. I want you to know she was actually thanking everybody for being so supportive and checking in, and how much she appreciated it. But because she's an off-the-grid liver, and she really lives off the grid, which I admire. I've lived in cities my whole life, so to me it's that's probably the bravest thing that someone could do, is live off the grid. But because of that, it makes regular communication more difficult. It's not just like me, who just doesn't like the phone and finds it tiring. It's literally not having access to a phone and having to drive into town. So, but she does check videos. She does. And so let's send up some well wishes and some prayers for her too, because she's had a rough time. I will tell you all that today your girl has a ton of adulting to do. And it's been a while since I've had to do some adulting. That's just because, believe it or not, I'm coming up to close to my 90 days of quarantine. And how do I know that? I'm almost out of my medicine. Remember when I went and my doctor got, 60 days. I'm at 60 full days of quarantine, not 90. because remember I got the extended prescriptions, so I'm out of some of them. I'm just running out of some of them now, which means I'm at a full 60 days. So I have to arrange some medicine. I have to, and there's shortages on I don't know if y'all know this. A lot of the medicines that people take for my kind of autoimmune are the ones that they're testing for COVID. That's why my doctors made me get my medicine right away at the beginning. They knew that before I did and before the public did. So my specialist knew that my medicine would be in short, like there would be a shortage. So that's why they had me get my supply right away. Very smart, my doctors. So thanks to them, I had my medicine this whole time. There were other people that had trouble. And I know that for a fact. I'm very lucky. I have very caring and wonderful doctors. I'm so lucky. So I have to take care of some medicines. I also have just regular adulting to do, like regular, boring adulting, banking, all sorts of things that have to be done. And I did take a break from finishing up the reorg. You can hear my neighbor's probably already cleaning this morning. And that's just because my mom and my husband both said, when was the last time you took a day or two off? And you know what, y'all? I had to think about it. I think it was Christmas. Because even on a craft day where I had the best weekend, and you all could tell I had the best weekend because I was crafting, right? And you know, I'm happiest, especially on Saturday. I was having a good old day because I hadn't been able to craft all week. But even then, I did like 2 loads of laundry and disinfected the house and cleaned the bathroom. And so my mom and my husband both wanted to know, when was the last time you actually took a day off? Meaning you didn't do any of those things. Well, right now it's not possible. They tell us here in New York it's important that we disinfect, especially in the mail area and the front door. And so every day I can't leave. But I did heed a lot of what they were saying, which was, why don't you take a couple of days off? It's earned. So it feels strange to do that. So I figured I'd take care of the adulting. Can you tell I'm a type A person who just got autoimmune? All right. Well, anyway, this is my way of taking off a couple of days. I'm going to take care of the adulting, and then I'm going to finish the reorg, and then I can just take a few days to just craft. That's my plan. Yeah, okay, I'm type A. I'm type A even with autoimmune. Imagine what I was like before this illness slowed me down. Just imagine, y'all. You can imagine it. I know P can, because she totally identifies. I know that. Now let's talk about P for a minute. It's always like later after the surgeries that pain is at its worst. And she had a bit of a rough day yesterday. No, that's an understatement. She had a rough pain day. So please keep P in your constant thoughts and well wishes, because it's going to be helpful for her. But it's a difficult surgery to get over. So just keep positive thoughts for her in your head, please. Please. All right, y'all. I am going to be back on later today with a very challenging task. Cynthia Aguilar asked a very simple but actually difficult to answer question. What is shabby? What is clean crafting? What is vintage crafting? And we all know within that there are all these subcategories like girly girl, or what I call put a bling on it. Or what about shabby chic like Scrapto World? Or what about someone like me who blends like mixed media and vintage, or blends vintage and Maggie? It's going to be, again, this is going to be one heck of a hard one to answer. So I'm going to actually answer it by showing memdexes and ETCs and things I've received over the last couple of years that may help explain some of these categories, at least how I see them. Wow, wouldn't it be funny? Because like for some of these categories, other people, there are obvious shabby ones, and there are obvious vintage ones, but there are some in the middle, y'all. So it'll be really interesting. I cannot wait to hear what those of you who are in the middle or who do many different styles think of my response to Cynthia. It's actually a difficult question to answer, but I'm going to do my best. I am. And I'm going to showcase a whole bunch of different work to explain it, which means I pulled a whole bunch of stuff off my display. So I have a whole bunch of mess to put away later too, but that's okay. It's well worth it to answer it. And I'm going to do my best. All right, y'all. I'm wishing for you a happy and crafty day. I hope you're not doing a lot of adulting. No? I hope you're doing something fun and crafty. All right. I'll see you later on today. Take real good care. Bye for now.